Samit, it's been 25 years or more at Notts, and we've just looked back at a few of the highlights from that time. What are your emotions as you sort of look back on your Notts career as a whole now?
Well, I'm very fortunate and privileged to play 25 years at one club. If someone would have said that I'd play at Notts for 25, I'd have snapped your hand off. To winning trophies is obviously difficult, and obviously I just love the fact that I've contributed in making memories at the club and winning trophies for the club, and I think that's a very proud moment for myself in itself. Very happy on the way I've gone about my cricket at this cricket club.
Even by that first title in 2005, you'd been around at Notts for a long old time. Talking about making your second team debut at 13, which must have felt like a bit of a baptism of fire at the time, I guess.
Absolutely. I was playing age group cricket with men and professional cricketers. To be honest, it was pretty daunting. To be honest, I wasn't expecting the call up to play for Notts in that Twos game, but thankfully I did get that opportunity to play. I remember getting Lummy out bowled through the gate, last ball of the day, when Nooney chucked me the ball in the last over. And those memories won't be forgotten. And I still remind Lummy to this day, actually. I get him out at 13, bowled through the gate, and we have a laugh about it. But yeah, it's memories like that really stand out for me. Something
that always stands out when we talk to other people about your career is that self-belief. I think Dave Fussey remarked upon it when he met you, that he could see the steel and the sort of self-belief within you. Is that something you had even at that early age, or how did that kind of develop? Yeah,
it kind of was, actually. I was pretty stern. I knew exactly what I wanted, and there was no one getting in my way to get it, to be honest. And I pride myself on that. That self-belief has to come from within, and I would like to hope that someone else can take that role going forward for this club. I think that I'm hopefully right in saying that Liam and Karts and Calvin can be, say, the linchpin of this cricket team. Being competitive within the group is helping each other, and I think that's really important from a club's point of view.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have been a mentor to some of those younger faces coming through, but you started out playing alongside the likes of Paul Johnson in the first team and Mick Newell in the seconds. Who were the early mentors for you?
Well, at 13, you don't really know. You don't know many, so it was kind of a blur. So I was walking into a dressing room full of legends. So in my eyes, they were legends. So I was just riding the wave. I was enjoying every bit of it, trying to learn bits and pieces from cricketers in our dressing room, from other people's dressing room, watching the TV. Sachin was a massive role model for me. Just picking up bits and pieces where I could and what would help me. And I think that the sternness of how I played my cricket is I'd always want to be that match winner. Pride myself on taking those big moments. And I've said it before, that has to come from within.
How important are the bonds you form in that dressing room as well? You spend a lot of time in there, especially in 4-day cricket, and it provides a long time, I suppose, to become closer as a unit.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of people come and go out of our dressing room. But the friends that you make for life, the memories that you make by winning trophies, winning games of cricket, creating bonds together, camaraderie. You get a lot of characters, Fletch, to Jake, to Mull, to Hales, Hussey, Fleming, McGill, the list could go on.
And I guess in terms of the 4-day cricket, that bond you formed must have made something like 2010 feel especially sweet, especially the way it happened as well.
2010, you'll never forget that. Everybody written us off. The trophy went to Durham, and we watched it rain for 2.5 days. We had a big team meal on day 3. How do we want to go about it? Do we want to set lengths 350 and do we need to get 6 wickets, or do we try and get 400 and only get 3 wickets? And we finally made the decision of going down the 400 route. We were 1 down overnight. I think Waggy and Franksy opened the bat in that game. So it was beyond end all, really. I think Adam just played the knock of his life, I reckon. To get 130, 40 on that wicket was monumental effort. It was great effort, and then the last 20 runs of that, everyone wouldn't move from their seats. As soon as Pato knocked that last run to mid-wicket, we're up and out in our whites and getting ready to take 3 wickets.
And then it comes to having to take those 3 wickets in next to no time, really. And what's going through your mind as the ball finds the edge of Shandapal's bat? I
shouldn't have been there anyway, because I'd not caught a ball all year and I have no idea what I was doing at full slip. But thankfully, I was there and I hung on to it, and the rest was history, to be honest. Andre had not bowled a ball over the wicket all year to a lefty, and he bowls over the wicket to Shiv, and Shiv nicks it, and that was it, really.
It was one of many games where, as a team, I guess, backs were against the wall and Notts came out and delivered, and that's something that has been a feature of your journey as a player as well. What sort of springs to mind to you when you think about those backs to the wall performances? You think 2017 was full of them in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, there were. We probably didn't start the comp well in 2017 in T20 or 50 over cricket, but we managed to do the white ball double. We had some challenges. We scraped through. We had to go to a quarter final in the 50 over comp to Somerset, and then we went to Chelmsford, a bit of a road trip. Again, they scored 388 or whatever they got, and a partnership between me and Mull, who I think that was his fastest 100. I think he said first 100 or fastest 100. Fantastic knock, and yeah, man, I thankfully got 100, and I was not out. And Mickey said the only thing that stood out for me was be the man that wins the game and stay not out. And I know that's very old school thinking, and back in the day that was the way it was. And that stood out for me, actually. I actually thought that was a really good point of shaking someone's hand at the end of the game, knowing the fact that you knocked him off was really good. And then it was the Alex Hale show in the final at Lords. It was a one-man show, you can call it. It was a freak knock. He's a freak player, we know that. Yeah, it was special moments like that where everyone during that year contributed, and everything just fitted game on game, and it was a great day at Lords. You say
it was the Alex Hale show, but you more than had your part to play with the ball as well. Was the setting something that inspired you to be doing it on the big stage against a really good Surrey team in a final? I kind of
live for those big moments in cricket matches. That's why I played the game, to try and entertain, and hopefully I've done that over the 25 years I have been at Notts. Yeah, it's about taking those pressure moments. It's not so much technical anymore. Cricket is more and more staying in the moment, taking the pressure, and cricket it's mental as well as technical, but it's how you handle it, and I think that's one thing I can probably pride myself on, is how I can handle some pressure.
Were you feeling that pressure in the 2017 T20 as well? You'd won one part of the white ball double. Notts had been very strong in T20 without quite getting over the line over the years before. So was that a pressure as well?
Absolutely. There's any finals, there's always pressure. What I did try to pride myself on was trying to build an innings and get the team into a winning position if we could, and knocking it around in that middle phase with BT and building a partnership with him, and then we try and take it deep and leave it to the likes of Christian to come and do his magic at the end, and it kind of fitted the bill, really. I think that we did that, and we had a flourish at the end, which kind of just knocked Warwickshire a little bit out of contention. 190 was a little bit too much going into our bowling phase, yeah. But yeah, that partnership will live with me forever.
Yeah, and those sort of performances on a big stage in front of a big crowd were one thing, but then how did you find it again in 2020? We think about the quarter here against Leicester, where there's no one here to cheer you on. I guess you've got to find that from within at that point.
Yeah, that's when self-belief has to really come. When you've got no crowd. I always called Trent Bridge my 12th man. And yeah, where that had to come from. The belief that we had was that we could still win the game going into that last over, knowing that what Aaron Lilly did for us by the misfield. So we had a bit of a chance. We knew it was going to be a tough chance. But yeah, we've managed, thankfully, to get us over the line with Dieter Klein misfielding that ball.
And obviously that being the year without supporters, but the supporters have always had your back in particular here. Always the biggest cheer when the team's announced is for your name. Do you remember that relationship developing in those early years?
Well, yeah, you kind of have to earn that by performance, by years of going out and trying to do your stuff. And obviously I've had bad years and I've had good years. So taking rough with the smooth, hopefully I've entertained them in a way that they've been happy with it. Sorry to guys that have not been happy with it. But yeah, the COVID year was the toughest one really, where we didn't have the support, but we've managed to get the job done, and we were the best team in the comp. Yeah.
Your Notts figures end with 20,937 runs and 713 wickets across all formats. So are those kinds of ludicrous numbers something that's driven you on?
Yeah, I'm not a stats man by any means, but yeah, they are good numbers. I couldn't be more prouder that I've represented the club in the way I have, and all three formats for England.
And when it comes to those sort of overall numbers, I guess the package, what does it mean to you that it puts you in some pretty elite company? I remember when you got the 5,000 run, 250 wicket double here at Trent Bridge, and it's put you alongside people like Christian and Pollard and greats of the T20 game. What does it mean to be in those kinds of categories?
Yeah, as I said, very, very privileged, very honoured to be besides Shaki Ball, Bravo, Pollard, Christian, the only Englishman. Is a proud moment, to be honest. There's been a lot of hard work to go on behind that. But yeah, I couldn't be more happier, to be honest.
Yeah. And it has really been all about your relationship with those supporters. So if you have one final message before you depart Notts to the Trent Bridge faithful, what would it be?
Thank you very much. You've been an absolute 12th man for me. You've spurred me on through thick and thin, hard moments, knowing the fact that I could walk off with a massive applause. People that walk through the gate, hopefully I've entertained you. Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a pleasure watching you out there for the past 20 odd years, and good luck for what's next.
Thank you very much.